Hello there, and welcome to another of Andre's Artist Profiles. And today is the birthday of Rickie Lee Jones. Now, I just wanted to note, she is the person who made the very first album that I ever took back to the store. And I did so because the album was defective. It had some bad jumps in it. But I never bought a new copy because, to be honest, that defect just gave me an excuse to take it back to the store and get something else because, frankly, the album was terrible. The vocal performance was terrible. I never heard anything like it, and it was because I know what Rickie Lee Jones is capable of. Such as on her first album here, which came out on the Warner Brothers label in 1979. Right off the bat, she had a hit with Chuck E's in Love. This album very much follows the Joni Mitchell kind of jazz folk sound of the time. My friend Henry calls people like Rickie Lee cool jazz people, who are outside the traditional realm of jazz and everything. But, Rickie Lee is one of those explorative musicians, and I don't have all of her work, but this is what I have so far. 1979. Her next album came out in 1981 called Pirates. This is a bit of a softer album, much more explorative, I think, than the first one. She really stretches out artistically here a bit. But it was still a very successful record. This album right here, called The Magazine, was recorded in 1984 and is not that dissimilar to a more 80s version of her debut. It's got some up-tempo kind of, Steely Dan-ish sort of songs on it, and some slower ones. But, it's still an excellent album. One of my favorites by her, actually. She followed that up in 1989 with Flying Cowboys, another excellent album, a little more similar to Pirates. You notice a pattern developing here, a little more upbeat and then a little more artful and maybe slow. But anyway, I could go on explaining the exact musical virtues of this album, but I think a lot of critics and people who are into the jazz, folk, singer-songwriter hybrid have already done quite enough of that. So anyway, that's Rickie Lee Jones. Those I feel, are her best albums, and I advise you to check all of those ones you just saw out. So happy birthday to Rickie Lee, and I'll see you next time.